Now today we are going to study about subject and predicate. Now students, when we make a sentence, it got divided into two parts. First is we name some person or a thing. We name some person or a thing. And the second one, when we say something about the person or a thing. When we make a sentence, when we write a sentence, at that time there is a person or a thing in a sentence, and what we are saying about that person or a thing. This is the remaining part of the sentence. So in this way the sentence gets divided into two parts, the subject and the predicate. So this refers to subject. The first part refers to the subject and the second part is referred to the predicate. So hence every sentence, in short, we can say has got two parts. Every sentence has two parts. The first part, which means the person or a things we are speaking about. In the first part is a person or a thing about whom we are speaking about, is the first part. And in the first part, when we are speaking about a person or a thing, this is called a subject of the sentence. Again I am repeating, in the first part when we are speaking about the person or a thing, that part is called as the subject of the sentence. Now for example, if you see one example, that is, the boy stood on the bench. The boy stood on the bench. Now in this particular sentence, the boy stood on the bench. It is here the subject, boy. The boy is the subject, because we are going to speak about this subject, about whom we are speaking. So it is the first part of the sentence in which we name the person or thing about whom we are speaking. So about whom we are speaking, we are going to speak about the boy. So boy becomes the subject. And what we are speaking about, this subject stood on the bench. What are we speaking about, the subject, the boy? What are we saying about the subject, the boy? What we are speaking about the subject, the boy? We are saying that he stood on the bench. So this remaining part of the sentence is called as predicate. Is called as predicate. So about whom we are speaking is the subject, and what is said about the subject is said to be the predicate, which is the remaining part of the sentence. So in this way, when we make a sentence, it gets divided into two parts. That is the subject and the predicate. The person or a thing about whom we are speaking is a subject, and what we are speaking about the subject, what we are telling about the subject is a predicate. That what the subject is doing. So it is called as a predicate. So in this sentence, we have got a subject as well, a predicate. The boy is the subject and stood on the bench is the predicate. Now let's see one more example. The teacher is teaching in the class. The teacher is teaching in the class. Now in this sentence, the teacher is a subject. Why? Because we are speaking about the person. We are going to speak about this person. Therefore, the teacher is a subject. And what we are speaking about the subject, that is the teacher, is the remaining part of the sentence, that the teacher is teaching in the class, becomes the predicate. It is as easy. So here we are speaking about the teacher, so it becomes becomes a subject, and what we are speaking about the teacher, that she is teaching in the class. Therefore, it becomes a predicate. Okay. Now sometimes it happens that now in these both the sentences we have seen that the subject is coming in the beginning. The subject is coming in the beginning of the sentence. That is, the boy is coming in the beginning of this entire sentence. In the second example also, what we are seeing is that the teacher as a subject is coming at the beginning of the sentence. So it may happen that in some sentences the subject comes at the end and the predicate comes at an initial sentence, at an initial stage. So for example, if we see that one more example, that when the subject comes after the sentence, here comes the bus. Now students, when we see the sentence, what we find out here is the subject is coming at the end. In the previous examples, what we saw that the subject was coming in the beginning. Now in some sentences the subject may come afterwards, so you shouldn't get confused that here comes will be the subject. No, in some of the sentences the subject may come at the end, just like this example. Here comes the bus. In this, the bus is the subject and here comes becomes the predicate, because we are talking about the bus, a person or a thing. So the bus is a thing. So here comes. So what we are speaking about the bus, that here it comes. So here comes becomes the predicate and the bus becomes the subject, because we are speaking about the thing. So the bus is a subject and the remaining part or the initial part of the sentence is the predicate. So in some sentences the subject may come in the beginning or the subject may come at the end. You should understand that, first of all you should understand and find it out what is the subject here and which is the predicate. Once you come to know what is the subject, so immediately we come to know what is the predicate, what is said about the subject, that is the person or a thing. Now in some of the sentences, what you will find that some of the imperative sentences the subject is left out. In some of the imperative sentences the subject is left out. For example, sit down. Sit down. Now what is sit down? It's an imperative sentence, okay? It's an imperative sentence. This sentence is called as an imperative sentence. Now we have already seen in one of my lecture that what is meant by imperative sentence. When we request or when we give a command, it is called as an imperative sentence. So sit down. Now in this sentence here the subject you is understood. Here the subject, keep it in mind, here the subject you is understood, though it is not written. Though it is not written in the sentence. So in some of the sentences, imperative sentences, you will find that the subject is omitted, the subject is not seen, and directly because it's a command or a request. Sit down. Now if I use a sentence here, please bring me a glass of water. Please bring me a glass of water. Now it's a request. The sentence is of a request. So you is understood that it is told to somebody. So in imperative sentences, though the subject is not mentioned, subject is left out as sit down and please bring me a glass of water. So in this way, a sentence is made up of two parts, a subject and a predicate. Sometimes the subject comes in the beginning and some of the sentences the subject may come at the end. In imperative sentences the subject is left out but it is understood. Just in the sentences which we have seen, you is understood. Okay, so here you finish with subject and predicate.